support.
The maestro, please!
January really coming through and giving us stuff to consistently talk about. It may not exactly be new, but at least we have something to mention on the show. This'll be for the week of
January 17th. 2026.
On this day of music back in 1938, Benny Goodman had the very first jazz concert ever at Carnegie Hall. It was described as the most important jazz or popular music concert in history. Worth noting that they played the famous Sing 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 with a Swing version that Benny Goodman is known for. I think it's worth mentioning that at the very least, the holiday albums are now all off of the classical chart.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
I would say the same for the jazz charts, but you know, Christmas always holds on just a bit longer in jazz than it does in classical music.
Singing.
I love rock and roll.
I wake up back to the end of beginning.
Interesting that this is getting back up here. Second studio album from Joe originally came out back in 2022. However, there was a surge in its popularity because End of Beginning started getting popular just last year, despite being released in 2024. Now apparently it's picking up in the UK, which might actually contribute to the fact that it's now back in the top 5 on the rock charts again.
It's bigger than hip hop, hip hop.
I'm bombing in on the scoreboard. Pull up, I've got me straw drawn. I'm rotting, I'm sick on the poor fours. Every time I smoke, I like 4 roars.
Another throwback given just back to last year as opposed to 2022. The debut studio album from EsDeeKid getting back up into the top 5 on the R&B and hip-hop charts because of the remix that was released for 4 Raws, which features Timothée Chalamet in promotion of his new movie, Marty Supreme. Now this is important because a lot of people used to think that EsDeeKid was just Timothée Chalamet, only, you know, disguised. Oddly enough, ABBA's Gold got back to number 1. I feel like it does that at the beginning of every year for some reason.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
No, you ain't got no misses. No, but you got a sports car. We can in it.
Working its way back into the top 5, I would say it's because of the deluxe edition, but that came back out in November, and obviously the numbers have already been long accounted for. So I guess people are just, you know, liking the album. That being said, it never really fell too far from the top of the chart.
It's our moment. You know together we're glowing. Gonna be golden.
At this point, I just needed to stay up here until the week after the Grammys so I can talk about how many Grammys it won.
I gotta know you're meant to be the man I need. Talk to me.
Honestly, the fact that this is up here might mean she has a shot at Best New Artist. In my prediction video, I said it was going to be Alex Warren, but I would not be upset if it's Olivia Dean.
You've been cheating it all. Ophelia.
Honestly, the most surprising thing about this is that it did drop to number 2. I'm still waiting for Opalite to be released as the second single.
That's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want, that's what I want, that's what I want.
And of course, this is the one that dethroned Taylor Swift. Even if it is just for 1 week, we'll see what happens next week. So again, while nothing new, at least we had stuff to talk about, as opposed to just, you know, releasing the episode and having to jump to the top 5 because there was just no movement on the charts.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please! Maestro!